I thought my husband was having an affair. Then I called the woman he'd been seeing. We've been trying to have a baby for 4 years, and it almost destroyed us. 3 rounds of IVF and 2 miscarriages broke something between us, and we almost separated last year. Therapy helped, and we decided to try one more time, and by some miracle, it worked. I'm 7 months pregnant now, but he's been distant for months, and I couldn't figure out why. Then the red flag started. He changed his phone password for the first time in 8 years, and when I asked why, he said it was just a work security thing. He started working late 3 nights a week, but when I called his office, the receptionist said he'd left hours ago. I found $400 in cash hidden in his sock drawer. I saw a text on his phone that said, "Same time Thursday," from someone named V, and he grabbed it before I could see more. Just a coworker. Don't worry about it. Then I noticed the notebook. It was brown leather with a strap around it, and he wrote in it every night after I went to bed. When I walked into the room, he would shut it immediately and slide it under his pillow. I asked what he was writing, and he said it was just thoughts and nothing important. I assumed he was keeping an affair journal. Last week, I found a receipt for a hotel room 45 minutes away. Then yesterday, I found a slip of paper in his wallet that said Valentina with a phone number and a little heart drawn next to it. I went to the bathroom and sobbed for an hour because my husband was cheating on me while I was 7 months pregnant with our miracle baby. I needed to see what was in that notebook. Last night, I waited until he was asleep and slid the notebook from under his pillow. I took it along with Valentina's number and locked myself in the bathroom. I was going to read his affair journal and then call this woman and tell her she'd been sleeping with a married man whose wife was about to have his baby. I opened the notebook and the first page said, "Letters to my son," and I didn't understand. I turned the page. "Dear baby, today we found out you exist. I need to tell you something about where you come from. My father died in a construction accident 2 months before I was born, and I never got to meet him. I grew up with nothing except a name and a photo. No memories, no letters, no idea who he really was. I promised myself my child would never feel that empty. There were over 100 pages of letters for first steps and first heartbreaks and graduation and wedding days and the day he becomes a father himself. Then I found an entry from 3 months ago. I finally found her, Valentina. She was my father's sister, and I never knew she existed because mom kept her away after some old family fight. I tracked her down, and she has boxes of his things, including letters he wrote and recordings of his voice. She's been meeting me on Thursdays to go through everything together. The woman wasn't his mistress, but his aunt. The texts from V were about meeting his aunt, and the hotel was a halfway point to go through his dead father's belongings. The cash was for old family photos. I found a letter from last week. "Dear son, today I heard my father's voice for the first time. Valentina had a tape from his wedding, and he sounded nervous and laughed at his own vows. I sat in my car in that hotel parking lot and cried for an hour. I'm saving the recording for you so you'll have your grandfather's voice even though I never did. I was sobbing on the bathroom floor when I called the number. An older woman answered and asked who was calling. Is this Valentina? I'm your nephew's wife, and I found your number and I thought he was, but I couldn't finish. Oh honey, he wanted to surprise you. He's been working so hard on those letters, and I've never seen a man love his family the way he does." My husband knocked on the door and asked who I was talking to. I opened the door holding the notebook and his face went white. "You found it." I wasn't ready yet because I wanted to give you everything when the baby came. The letters, the photos, my dad's voice. I wanted our son to have what I never had. I told him I thought he was cheating on me and he looked like I'd slapped him. Cheating? I've been building something for our son because I grew up with nothing and I didn't know how to explain why it mattered so much. I asked why he didn't just tell me. Because every time I tried to talk about my dad, I couldn't get the words out and it was easier to write it down. I pulled him onto the bathroom floor with me and told him his father would be so proud of him. He broke down crying in my arms and we stayed there until the sun came up. Our son was born 3 weeks ago and the notebook along with his grandfather's voice are in a safe deposit box waiting for him. My husband still writes in it every night.